Imagine you're making $40,000 a year. Life is stressful, bills are stressful, money is stressful, everything feels expensive. So you tell yourself, if I could just make more money, all my financial problems would disappear. A perfectly reasonable thought. Then you get a promotion. Now you're making $60,000. Things improve a little, then you think, if I could just get to $80,000, then $100,000, then $150,000, then $200,000, and something strange happens. The finish line keeps moving, like it's actively trying to avoid you. Welcome to one of the weirdest truths about money. Making more money solves many problems, just not always the problems people expect. And that's what nobody tells you. Let's start with some good news. More money absolutely matters a lot. Anyone claiming money doesn't matter has either never been broke or is about to sell you a course. Money buys food, shelter, healthcare, safety, options, freedom. When you're struggling financially, earning more money can dramatically improve your life. This isn't controversial. It's reality. The first extra dollars you earn are incredibly powerful. Imagine a stick figure making barely enough to cover essentials. Then imagine that stick figure gets a raise. Suddenly, rent is easier, groceries are easier, emergency expenses become less terrifying, life becomes less fragile. That's real. That's important. Money solves a lot of problems. The problem is that people often assume it solves all problems. And that's where things get interesting. Let's imagine another stick figure. This one makes $250,000 a year. Sounds fantastic. Then you discover they still worry about money. They're stressed, they're anxious, they're budgeting, they're complaining about expenses. At first, this seems ridiculous. Until you understand what happened, the expenses evolved because nobody tells you this about making more money. Your problems don't disappear, they get upgraded. It's like leveling up in a video game at lower incomes. The challenge might be paying rent at higher incomes. The challenge might be a mortgage at lower incomes. You're worried about covering bills. At higher incomes, you're worried about retirement, taxes, college savings, investments, insurance, and whether your financial advisor is secretly judging your portfolio. Different problems, same stress. Humans are remarkably talented at adapting, which sounds positive until you realize we adapt to good things too. Psychologists call this hedonic adaptation. Normal people call it getting used to stuff. Imagine you buy your dream car. For 2 weeks, you're thrilled. You stare at it, you admire it, you find excuses to drive it. 3 months later, it's just your car. The excitement fades, the novelty disappears, your brain updates the baseline. Now imagine the same thing happening with income. The raise feels incredible for a while. Then it becomes normal. Your expectations adjust, your lifestyle adjusts, and suddenly you're chasing the next raise. Not because you're greedy, because your brain, a.k.a. it's running software that constantly says, this is nice. What's next? Which is excellent for human progress and terrible for contentment. Then there's lifestyle inflation, one of the sneakiest financial forces in existence. Let's say you start making more money. You move into a nicer apartment, reasonable. You buy a better car, reasonable. You take better vacations, reasonable. You upgrade your furniture, reasonable. Everything is reasonable. Everything is reasonable individually, collectively. Your expenses have quietly followed your income up the ladder. Lifestyle inflation isn't evil. It's human. Most people don't dramatically change their lifestyle overnight. The changes happen gradually. So gradually, you barely notice, until one day you realize you're earning twice as much and somehow still check in your bank account before making purchases. Then comes a secret nobody talks about. Making more money often creates new social expectations. Imagine a stick figure starts earning significantly more friends, no family knows, coworkers. No, suddenly people make assumptions. You can afford this. You can contribute more. You can pick up the tab. You can help. You can spend money. Changes how other people see you. Sometimes subtly, sometimes very directly. It's one of the least discussed aspects of earning more. The social side of wealth. Then there are taxes, a topic capable of ruining almost any celebration you get. A raise wonderful. Then taxes arrive and remind you that they too would like to participate. Many people experience their first major salary increase and immediately discover the difference between gross income and take-home income. A deeply educational experience. Not necessarily an enjoyable one, but educational. Then there's the time problem. This one surprises people. Many high earners don't just make more money, they trade more time, responsibility, stress, or risk to get it. The bigger paycheck often comes attached to bigger expectations, more meetings, more pressure, more accountability, more late-night emails from people who apparently never sleep. At some point, you're not just earning more money, you're managing a larger portion of chaos, which means income growth isn't always free. Sometimes, it's expensive in ways that don't appear on a bank statement. Now, here's where things become really interesting. Above a certain point, more money often becomes less about survival and more about optimization. Instead of asking, "Can I pay my bills?" people start asking, "Am I using my money correctly? Am I investing enough? Should I buy this house? Should I start a business? Can I retire early?" The questions become more sophisticated, but they're still questions. Financial uncertainty doesn't disappear. It changes shape. And perhaps that's the biggest surprise. Many people imagine wealthy individuals living in a state of permanent financial certainty. Some do, many don't, because certainty is psychological, not numerical. A person with $5 million can worry. A person with $50,000 can worry. A person with $500 can worry. The human brain is incredibly flexible that way. It finds new things to stress about. A true overachiever. Now, none of this means making more money isn't worth pursuing. Quite the opposite. Higher income creates opportunities, options, flexibility, security. Those things matter enormously. But here's what nobody tells you. Making more money is not the finish line. It's a tool, a powerful tool, perhaps the most powerful financial tool, but still just a tool. If your spending rises as fast as your income, the feeling of financial freedom can remain frustratingly distant. If your expectations rise endlessly, the finish line keeps moving. If your definition of success is always a little more, satisfaction becomes difficult to catch. It's like chasing a horizon. No matter how far you travel, it stays ahead. So what's the lesson? The goal isn't simply making more money. The goal is converting more money into a better life. And those are not the same. Thing one is about income. The other is about choices. Freedom, time, security, relationships, experiences, things that actually improve daily life. Because making more money is relatively straightforward to understand. Bigger number, a bigger paycheck, a bigger salary, but knowing when enough is enough, that turns out to be much harder. And that's the part nobody tells you. The biggest challenge isn't always earning more. Sometimes, it's deciding what the extra money is actually for. Otherwise, you can spend your entire life climbing a ladder, only to realize nobody ever explained where it was leaning. And that is a surprisingly expensive thing to figure out after the fact.